Hello, Black Healing Matters family. This is Danielle here with the Black Healing Matters podcast, where we offer you ideas to hopefully move you one step closer to your healing. And today I'm excited to start a new week off of, this is going to be great. And you know what today is? It's Sunday. And as Sunday, you know that means it's Set Your Intention Sunday here at the Black Healing Matters podcast. And so, this is the time that we take every single week to sit down and practice this very important word. Intention. Putting our intentions down on paper, preferably on paper, or at least setting an intention for our week. You may have more than one. I recommend that you do. But especially as we start this new year, 2018, it's so important to set your intention. That word comes up. It's come up so many times in the past few weeks since starting this podcast, and every interview, it just keeps coming up. This word intention. And I don't think that that's an accident. I think that's the universe's way of letting us know that we're on the right path here. And that intention is really a gateway to greatness. I'm going to say that one more time. An intention is a gateway to your greatness. Because obviously, without any intention, nothing happens. And you can have the best of wishes, the greatest of dreams, the highest of hopes. But without a true intention to establish how I'm going to get from where I am across the bridge to where I want to be, well, it's just a dream. It's just a hope. It's just out there in the far beyond. So here at Black Healing Matters, we are in the business of helping you, family, to live a better life. And that starts with living your intentions, your dreams, your goals, whatever they are. And I'm sure you just set some, right? Because we just finished the new year. This is the first Sunday in the new year. And if you just set your first, your New Year's resolutions, if that's what you call them, or intentions, or even if you have chosen a word, like we talked about last week. What's the word? The word of the year for you. I think I shared with you that my word for this year is elevate. And so every intention that I set for myself, for this podcast, this platform, in my life personally, professionally, physically, is really centered around that word elevate. So that's a really, really great way to kind of focus your intention so that you're not all over the place, 1 week over here, 1 week over there. This way you get to kind of filter your intentions through one single idea or word. Okay, so this week's intention, we're going to talk about something, again, that could be hindering your intentions. I'm not going to give you a new intention today, but I am going to discuss something that could be, and probably is, standing in the way of you, between you and your greatest intention. What might that be, you ask? Yes, I'm sure you're wondering. We are going to talk today about some of the top 3 limiting beliefs that trip us up time and time again on our road to success and setting great intentions. are back. And so I just want to refer quickly to, I think it was 2 weeks ago, or just before the new year, and we talked about excuses. And on Set Your Intention Sunday, I believe it was two weeks ago, we talked about excuses and how excuses are so kind of sneaky and insidious and kind of undermine our great intentions so often. And so excuses are kind of like the workaround, you know. Excuses are like they give us permission to stay where we are. Now, limiting beliefs, on the other hand, these are blocks. Simply put, blocks. There is no permission granted here. Limiting beliefs will stop you from even considering anything that they don't permit. So, for example, if you have a limiting belief that, I don't know, if you believe that you can't do something, that you're not capable of it, then you won't even consider trying it. That's how deep limiting beliefs are. And so they differ a little bit from excuses in that these are much deeper and these are kind of prohibitive. Whereas excuses are more like giving yourself permission to stay where you are and not make a move. Okay, so one of them is conscious in that you know what you're doing. When you give an excuse, you know that you can do it. You know that you have the option to do it. Whereas when you have a limiting belief, the option is not even really on the table. You don't even consider it because you have this limiting belief. So as I promised, I have 3 limiting beliefs that I believe really do a number on us and a number on our people, and that they really kind of stop us in our tracks from really trying anything new or believing that we can even reach some of the dreams and goals that have been planted inside of us. And so this first limiting belief, and I think I've talked about this a little bit before, but this first limiting belief that I believe we really, many of us really have in our community, number 1 is that we don't work together. That Black people don't support each other. And that limiting belief, you may say, well, so what? But see, if you are Black and you want to start something new, where you're going to be depending on the support of other people, especially primary Black people, then you might not even consider going out on a limb and fulfilling that goal or intention if you have this limiting belief. Now, the thing about a limiting belief is that it's not true. This is not true. And so first, kind of getting up under that limiting belief to first see for what it really is. It's a lie. Okay? That's really the first step to being able to get past that. Number 2, the second limiting belief that many of us are embodying right now, and maybe not even conscious of it, is I can't do what I want to do because of racism. Meaning that I can't get the loan that I want to get because of racism. I can't, do the job or the career that I want to get because of racism. That we put racism as kind of the reason that we can't achieve certain things. And because we believe, well, Black folks don't do that. Black folks can't be, that's why so many of us were just so overwhelmed when we saw that there was a Black president. Because many of us had that limiting belief that there would never be a Black president in America. And it's surely not when it happened. And so these limiting beliefs, again, they're not true. Okay? But they stop us in our tracks. So there may have been many others black people who wanted to become president, but because it had never happened before, they maybe had this limiting belief and couldn't even see themselves in that role. You feel me? All right, fam. I'm moving on to the last one here. And I think this one is a little bit, this one hits close to home, and it's deep. Okay, it runs deep. The last limiting belief that I want to talk about today, the last limiting belief I'm going to describe today, in hopes that you do not fall for this okie doke, okay? That you can get underneath this limiting belief and turn it over and expose it for the lie that it is that we're not good enough. Yes. The limiting belief that you're not good enough, or that we as black people are simply not good enough. That is that limiting belief, it runs pretty deeply. And so how it shows up sometimes, it may show up as, that we are willing to accept any and everybody who claims to be down for the team. Yeah. Any white person who wears, who kind of has a little bit of swag and, can dance a little bit or have a little bit of rhythm or claims to be down for the cause, we accept them with open arms, because I believe that has the underlying root of that is that we believe that if anybody loves us, we should just be open arms and accept any and everybody, because we feel like we're not lovable. If, Marvel decides to make a movie with black people in it, we're all over it. We're so excited. And we feel like, oh, they love us. They care about us, Not really. They're making movies, and they know black people make good movies. They make a lot of money. And so is it, that limiting belief, I believe, has a lot to do with how we react to the world around us, especially when we run into obstacles and or when we want to put ourselves out there for something great. I hear this a lot of times where, we just kind of settle. I really, really want to get this degree, or this, want to get this particular, something or another from this prestigious place. But, I don't know. I guess I'll just settle for community college. Or I guess I'll just, do something instead. Where we just kind of settle for less. And not really seeing our own talent, our own beauty, and honoring it like it should be. Yeah, and I am definitely, I've fallen prey to this one, it comes in so many different forms. The imposter syndrome, or the feeling inferior, which is a natural vestige of our history. I mean, think about it. If as a descendant of a slave, slaves obviously were made to feel not even just inferior, but less than inferior, less than human. So it's understandable that this limiting belief might exist in us. All right, Black Healing Matters family. I hope that you can kind of understand where I'm coming from with these 3 limiting beliefs. And again, start to really question them. Shine the light on them. Make sure that they don't have any room to survive in your consciousness, and that they're not limiting you from the greatness that you really have been put on this planet to bring. Only you can bring it like you, right? And we've all got marching orders. And so don't let anything, including these little ridiculous beliefs, stop you or even hinder you from your greatness, fam. And on that note, I love you. Stay blessed. And as always, Black Healing Matters.
Hey Danielle, this is Mark over at the Mark Doby Show. I just wanted to call you and thank you for favoriting the station. I favorited yours as well because I love it. I think it's awesome. It's wonderful, has inspirational content, and it's informative. So please keep it up because I think it's fantastic. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I hope we get to keep in touch soon. My sister's name is also Danielle, so maybe I have a soft spot for that. But please keep it up, and all the best to you, and have a wonderful weekend.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.